The scientific literature supporting the health benefits of regular and consistent sauna therapy is continuing to emerge, especially as it relates to reducing risk of diseases like cardiovascular disease, hypertension or elevated blood pressure, risk of stroke, neurocognitive and neurodegenerative diseases like mild impairment and Alzheimer's. But most importantly, especially right now, is how heat and sauna therapy has been shown to enhance the immune system, which is why I was so surprised after many months of gym closures, health officials have decided to continue to keep public saunas closed in the name of safety, which was kind of a bummer because for the past 6 years, I've been regularly using the sauna in my gym. It gets up to 180 degrees. So I guess you could say the public health officials forced my hand. So in the fall of 2020, I decided to build my own classic Finnish sauna using a wood-fired stove. It's the classic Finnish way. It creates a real wet and deep penetrating heat.
It's hotter. There's more humidity because we can throw water on there with essential oils.
So in this video series, I'm going to share with you how I developed this piece of unused space in our backyard to build this 8x12 structure with the goal of keeping the project under $8,000. I'm slightly over budget, but in this video, I'm going to share with you and walk you through how I did it. I got some framing help from my stepfather, Bob, and we teach you a lot of great framing tips. You're going to learn a lot about that. Whew. Before we continue on with the do-it-yourself sauna build-out, I want to thank this video show sponsor, Skillshare.com, the largest online learning center and community where you can learn a range of new skills that can help you make more money, be productive, and be a more valuable asset to your employer or as a small business owner yourself. So back when I started YouTubing back in 2012, I had no idea how to edit videos. I had no idea how to create thumbnails. And here we are now, 340,000 some odd subscribers later. I am using and leveraging and implementing some of the tools that I learned right from Skillshare.com to enable me to share content like this to you and tens of thousands of people all throughout the world. So I would get started today where you can learn whatever creative task you want to learn more about, how to be more productive in your business or in your workplace, how to use Photoshop, how to use Adobe Illustrator, all of the Adobe Creative Suite. I strongly suggest any creative or business owner learns how to do that because there's so many times throughout the day where you'll need to do that. They have amazing courses from Simon Sinek, one of my favorite authors, about entrepreneurship and how to speak in front of crowds, something that a lot of us, all of us, no matter what industry we're in, we can benefit from. So the first 1,000 people that click and follow through in the link below get a free trial membership. And then after that, memberships are less than $10 per month. So please support the further development of your skill sets and support our show sponsor by clicking the link below and getting a free trial membership. There's amazing courses there. Tens of thousands of people are constantly enrolled in these courses and learning and sharpening the saw and becoming a more valuable asset to employers and in their businesses as well. So let's continue on with the do-it-yourself sauna build-out. It's video part 2 of DIY sauna build-out. If you're new to this series, I want to welcome you. It's Mike Mutzel. The goal of this series is to inspire you and help you and kind of get everyone doing more sauna therapy at home. I know there's a lot of inexpensive and fairly affordable prefab saunas at Costco right now, which is fantastic. Any heat is good. We do have an infrared sauna, but that doesn't get hot as I like. And so what we're building here is a 8x12 structure. Links from saunatimes.com, their ebook, Glenn's ebook. And this is going to be fueled by a wood stove. So this is going to be a kuna stove. I believe that means heat in Finnish. Anyway, the goal of this video series, number one, to inspire you to build a sauna because there's many health benefits to enhancing sleep, cutting stress, boosting immunity, and inspire you is you can do this on a budget. And so part of this and a big part of my life is DIY home construction. So I want to inspire you to learn how to be handy. I wasn't born this way. I've learned a lot, from my stepdad, from my father, and then just getting my hands dirty with garden beds and chicken coops and whatever the hell else. So let's take a look at what we've done. Okay, so here's what it looks like after about 2.5 days of framing and then 1 day of the concrete work. So let's kind of dive into what the space looked like. I dug down about 4 feet and used these 12-inch circumference sauna tubes, a total of 6 of them, 3 on each side of the 12-foot length structure. I ordered the concrete truck and hand delivered that. That was a lot of work. So what you want to do is run plumb lines to make sure that your sauna tubes and your footings are pretty straight. And then you put in these 4x4 brackets for your 4x4s that will hold up the joist. Now, you want to run a plumb line and just make sure that these are straight. They do not have to be level off the ground. I'll share with you in a moment how to do that using a laser leveler. So there's your little 4x4s that you cut, use a laser leveler to find that line. And then once those are all level, then you can lay down your 4x6 14-foot post, okay? So here we are putting in the 2x6 joist using joist hanger nails, really important. This is basically like building a deck. It works well if you have two people, it goes pretty fast. Now, you want to make sure everything's nice and plumb, and what you see here is these 2x6 pressure-treated ground contact boards. We doubled up on the end, and then I also recommend doubling up. I did this after the fact. I should have done it right here, but I didn't. Double up where your stove is, 2 on each side, because the stove is 500 pounds. Now here we're putting on 3/4 inch CDX. So this is going to be plywood sheathing underneath, and then we can add the framing on top of this. So that's the plywood right there. And I'll share with you how we got to this step when it comes to the framing. And here's a really important framing tip.
Now remember, from the edge of the building, I want 16 inches to be in the center of the first stud, right?
Yeah.
So what do? I mark 15 1/4, and 16 will be right in the center. Right? Now I go to the next one. The red is always the 16 inches on center. I go 31 1/4, 32 is in the center. Top and bottom plates are exactly the same. I go to the next one. 47 1/4, 48 right on.
So that's the essence of framing. I would recommend rewatching that or watching other videos. Basically, your studs are going to land 16 inches on center. So invest in a good measuring tape that lists out the 16th inch, the 1/8 of the inch, 1/4 inch, etc. Now, here's the stud block stud, which is how you join walls.
Let's look at this right here. When a wall goes together like that, you have to have nailing inside.
Right.
So this corner has to be what we call a stud block stud. A stud is 1.5 inches in width. So we go stud, another block, which is 3 inches, and then stud. So that's 4.5 inches. This is 3.5. That gives us an inch of nailing inside there. And a stud block stud, when we lay it out, so that you know what it means, we're going to lay out a stud block stud. It goes stud like that on the ends.
So what we're doing here is checking the diagonals to make sure that these walls are very square. This is a really important step. Once you find out that your wall is square, you want to put some bracing on it so that it can't move around. Then you lift the wall up and you're pretty much ready to go until you can put adjacent walls and really start to sync things together.
Whenever the walls come together like this is the long wall.
Yeah.
This is the short wall in the intersection. The long wall always has a stud block stud, or the corner, so that we can get nailing inside. The short wall is only going to have a single stud. The code says we have to have 3 studs in each corner. But now here's the big lesson. The layout, we know how to do the layout, but it's very important where the layout starts.
Yeah.
Now, down there we started the layout. Think about the plywood on the outside. Think about how that's going to go.
Right.
I wouldn't start my layout from here on this one, would I?
Right.
Because then the plywood having to come out here would throw it all off. So since the plywood starts out here, that's where my layout has to start on the short wall.
Right.
Think short wall, long wall. So I have to start my layout there. I know I need a stud in the corner.
Yeah.
And I start my layout out there, and then I just do my layout, just like you've learned. 15 1/4, 16, right?
Yeah.
Mark the reds.
Now what I'm doing here is securing the top plate. So this is going to make sure that the walls and the interior walls and the side walls are all joined together to keep them as one piece. Really important step there. So once the top plate is on, you can work on your roof rafters. Now there's a lot of different ways to do roofing. I'm certainly not an expert on this. We went with the pitch of an 8/0, so it's a pretty steep pitch, which is why we also went with the oriented strand board instead of just regular plywood on top. Now it has a nice sticky surface, so that's me climbing all around. What I did here is a quarter tabbing asphalt roof. You want to put down your felt paper with staples. You can Google quarter tabbing roofing. So this was about $100, like it was really affordable. All right, so it's day 5, 6, 7. Keep running into small miscellaneous issues and things I didn't really think about, and I want to share that with you in this video. So let me turn it around. All right, so got some lumber here today. So wrapping up the siding, really simple. So this is a 1x6 channel siding, and it goes on pretty easy. The only kind of time-consuming parts here are I added some ventilation. So on each side here of the structure, there's, I think it's like a I don't know, 12 by 6 little box there. So you're gonna be coming out of your sauna, you're gonna be sweaty, probably steam coming out. You don't want a mold problem in your sauna, so think about ventilation. So it's very important to vent your sauna near the roof ridge, but it's also very important to vent the interior sauna directly to the outside. More on this in video part 2 coming later this week. Cascade Lumber has some really great lumber. My friend Chris works there, so he helped me out with the sizes and everything like that. They delivered, which is great. So this is the 1x4 channel for the interior. And we got wood for the benches right there, which is great. So that's what's going on. So it's pretty easy. So we'll throw this on quick and get rolling. So the cedar siding is pretty straightforward. Do nice clean cuts and make sure that you're using siding nails. Now I went with a nicer, more expensive cedar siding. You could probably save some money here by using plywood or cheaper siding, but I wanted to make sure that this structure matched my house so that if I ever were to rent out or sell my house, that it looked like this structure was built keeping in mind the theme of the existing house. Welcome back. So we're gonna finish up the deck today. So about a month ago was when I framed it out. Behind me is the siding, the 1x6 cedar siding. So that was the cedar untreated. Now here's just the application of some low VOC tung oil. Just some natural tung oil, although it is more expensive than some of the cheaper, higher volatile organic compound stains. Then use some Osmo clear stain. Osmo is a company that sells some low VOC stains. We're gonna do something different on the deck, so check this out. So we have the deck here. I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I don't wanna be looking at the 2x4s that are going to be the deck. They're really, well, they're really 1x4s, right? What I'm going to do is a miter cut right here, 45-degree angle. I'll run another one that way, and then I can start stacking the decking, okay? So that way you're not looking right at, not that it's bad, but you know, it gets yucky and it just doesn't look all that good. So basically, we're gonna do a miter cut here, and then run the other one that way. So almost be like a decorative trim piece. Let's do some miter cuts and see how it turns out. I have no idea how it's gonna look. So the decking turned out pretty good. So I'm laying out here my 5/4 cedar, clear cedar decking, and I stained it with some tung oil so it's gonna last, and I'll do that every year and all that sort of stuff. What I do here, this is just a little trick, so you nail in your screws, and then you go and screw them after the fact. All right, Bug, what do you think?
It's really cool.
All right, so the deck is on. I'm short one piece, unfortunately. Well, two pieces really. And as I might have suspected, because I knew my deck wasn't square, I'm running into an issue where I got, about 1/2 inch difference here.
But you gotta fix this and that.
Oh, yeah? Is that it? Okay. All right, so today we're gonna build the windows tonight. It's gonna be another late one probably. So behind me is the window. What I'll do is I'll link to the actual video that I watched to get inspiration. It was made by another health kind of YouTuber. His name is, I think it's Mick or Mike the Vegan. He actually commented and like took one of my videos a while ago and commented on it saying that it was with David Perlmutter talking about the ketogenic diet. Anyway, I'll link both those here, but he had a great video. So Mick the Vegan, thank you for that. So what I did is I bought glass here from a local glass manufacturer, because custom windows like this guy right here, I mean, that was $3,000, right? So to get big windows, nice, you know, it's insulated, tempered, all that, that was $40. And then this one right here was, I want to say 60 bucks. So all in there's around 120. So essentially what I'm doing here is I bought 2x6s. I just want to get something a little thicker. And I'm ripping a bunch of small little cuts here. That's going to be 5/8 inch deep, and then I'm able to just slide the window in, and I'll use some silicone and stuff like that. But you can see it's going to fit nicely to me. It stands up straight and all that good stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I did a little schematic here. So essentially what we have going on here is we have the, you know, the 2x6. I have my 5/8 inch depth. Gosh, the autofocus on. So I have my 2x6, the 5/8 inch depth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rip 2.5 inches, 2 1/4 across, and so on. So, you know, there will be some decorative type of trim around there. Okay, so here's the prototype of the window that we're building here for the interior. I just have the 12x12 candle window. So anyway, just add a little dimension. I'll go back with the router and stuff like that. But as you can see, the window sits just perfectly, so I have to make, I don't know, 7 more of these pieces. So they take a while, but once you get one, then it's easier to go through with it. So the hardest part about this whole project was making these windows. Now, you can obviously go through, I really like Pella windows, so behind me is a Pella window. I know the rep, they're a really great company, but in order to get fiberglass windows for the sauna, it was gonna be a 12-week plus lead time. And I just didn't wanna sacrifice all winter to wait for the windows, because it's hard to, you know, frame out the rough opening for the windows and then do insulation and all that, and then have the thing sit there. So I built my own windows. It's been a total pain in the ass. Now, if you're really good with the miter saw, you're gonna go way faster than me. I don't do much with the miter saw, so it just getting it totally fleshed and all that. Anyway, I ended up selling my Ryobi, and I bought a Milwaukee miter saw. I couldn't do it with the Ryobi, it wasn't accurate enough. Oh, we have Rains? We have Mr. Ray in here? So this glass it's tempered, double pane insulated. It's a 1/2-inch glass, and I just have to get some of that you know, tape off there or whatever. But so here's the window that's gonna go in the sauna. I did stain it, you know, it's gonna be outside exposed. And then here's the interior one. I'm not gonna stain that, there's no need. You know, it's you know, cedar just like the rest of everything. I'm not seeing the interior of that. But what I'm going to do is put some silicone on there and everything. What do you think, Bug? Has Dad enjoyed this process? Has there been some swear words? So this is going to be the candle window, and we can see you. So imagine if Nez was sitting on the top bench of the sauna and Rainier was there too. So this would be what's known as the candle window, and we can put candles there, and that's going to light the interior part of the sauna.
I'm getting really hot because I have my jacket on.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well, you're sweating, so that's healthy.
But I have my jacket on in the sauna.
Okay, so just getting ready to set this window here. It's looking pretty good, so what I'm going to do is go on and check it from the outside. So this is, again, the window that I built. First time building a window, but I did save quite a lot of money, actually. I mean, to get this double pane insulated tempered glass, it was, I think, only 60 bucks. And, you know, the window's not great. I mean, you know, miter cuts are not kind of my thing. So if you look here, there's a little, see that little unevenness? I'm not going to sweat it. It's a sauna. You know, that's the other window I built. I had to use white caulking. I'm going to cut that out with a window razor. But anyway, wanted to get this window in here. All right, so. All right, well, I'll let you decide. What do you think of that window? Again, could be a little bit better. You might notice, like, I cut out a little bit more trim over there. A little bit more siding. I'll put some trim over it. Not too terribly worried about that. Basically what we're looking for, that it's level and it looks even. Now you might say, well, it's a little flush with the building. Yeah, it is. I don't want it sticking out because this thing is not like totally weatherproof. So yeah, I'll put some window foam here, put some trim over it, and I might just push it back just a hair. All right, welcome back. So it's a great day, but it also means we have so much more work to do, friends. We just got the stove last night. So it came via freight from Kuma Lampa. So you are seeing this for the first time as I am. Look at this thing. So remember, part of this experience, part of why we're creating this, I don't want it to get wet, it's just a gnarly northwest day here. You know, part of what we're doing here with this sauna is I wanted it to be a totally different experience, so when people come over, clients, friends, customers of Myoscience, all that, to experience what it really feels like to be in a sauna that's 200, 210, maybe up to 220 degrees, getting that classic Finnish sauna feel, having the wood-fired stove, all of that. Also, I wanted to be able to enjoy it if the power goes out, which it frequently does around here. We have, you know, windstorms and these monster storms that come through. It's only about once a year that the power goes out for any substantial length of time. But how cool would it be to invite friends over and say, hey, we don't have power, but we have a really hot sauna. Come on over. Now, this also means is there's a lot more involved. We're gonna have to put Dura Rock behind the sauna stove. There's a lot more that goes into it. This thing weighs 500 pounds, 550 pounds. I'm probably not gonna be able to get it back there by myself, but I'm going to try. So you're gonna see me attempt to do this. It's probably gonna be ugly, but here we go. That was a pain in the butt. So what I had to do, I'll show you the 2x6 lumber that I had. It was a Douglas fir treated 2x6 lumber. What I did is I made a ramp up the steps and I dragged that 500, it's like 475 pounds. I used this hand truck, but it was hard. It was really hard, but there it is. So that's the Kuma stove. It's the medium unit. Let's check it out. So, oh man, it just feels nice. So this is airtight. Okay, this whole thing completely airtight. Because, you know, you're gonna be in a sauna and you don't want to be inhaling smoke and stuff. So there's bricks in there. I took half the bricks out. It didn't seem to, the bricks didn't weigh much. They say it's 100 pounds of bricks, but then there are rocks you need to get on top, sauna rocks. Yeah, that's it. It's looking pretty cool, huh? Now I just got to finish up the Dura-Rock and some other things and we're off to the races. But this thing is really, really well built. Gosh, look at this thing. So this is the choke here. Looks like that's open. I'm gonna say open and then closed. And then this is the ashtray. So you can dump your ashes out, you know. But yeah, so that hand cart did the trick. I was surprised.
Well, my friend, that's it for video part 2 of the Do-It-Yourself Backyard Sauna series. So in the next video, we're gonna focus in on the interior of the hot room. How to wrap it, how to vent it, how to insulate it, how to do the blocking, how to build the benches. We focus on the stove installation, we build sauna rocks, and we take our very first sauna session, and you're gonna take a session with us. So thanks as always for tuning in, and definitely check out saunatimes.com and check out our show sponsor, Skillshare.com, and the first 1,000 people that sign up get a free membership. Links will be below, friends. So we'll catch you and look forward to seeing you on video part 3.